Alright, hello everyone. I filmed my Luca review in the basement of a random house, and now I'm on vacation filming my Black Widow review next to this ocean and this sunset. This is going to be a more laid-back review than most of my reviews, but I hope you enjoy it. Welcome to another new video, everyone. I'm Micah. And yeah, this is not a normal review, but share your thoughts on Black Widow down in the comment section. What have you all thought of this movie? Finally, a new MCU film. After 2 years of not having any MCU films, it's actually been 2 years since Spider-Man Far From Home, which is kind of crazy. Anyway, first, let's talk about the plot. Now, this movie was actually surprisingly dark and sad. More dark and sad than I thought it would be, but I should have known it was going to be pretty dark because Black Widow's backstory, the whole concept of the Red Room is really dark, but I guess I didn't expect it to really be about that. I wanted them to do a backstory for Black Widow and explore the Red Room in this MCU, and I guess they finally did, even though it's not like when she first got into the Red Room. Well, they showed that opening, which was really good, but I guess I didn't think the main focus was going to be on that because of Taskmaster, and yeah, the story with Dreykov and the whole Red Room, all that was really interesting. The plot is maybe the best aspect of this movie. I don't know. I thought Dreykov was actually a very good villain. Like, we all thought Taskmaster was going to be the main villain, and that was really good. What they did with Taskmaster, I thought that was really interesting. That little twist in there. Overall, that whole story with who everyone Black Widow used to know, it's just good to have a new side to the character, showing us where she's been in between, like, Civil War and Infinity War. Now, that's kind of an issue as well. They just squished it into a random part in the timeline, and it really doesn't feel like it takes place soon after Civil War, but I guess it's fine. I don't know, it's definitely a weird time to have a Black Widow movie. People have been asking about it for a long time. They just should have made it sooner, like after Civil War when it's set. Anyway, moving on to the characters. I honestly didn't like the new characters all that much. I liked seeing David Harbour in here, but his character wasn't great. They tried to give him an arc, but then he never completed that arc. Like, he's going to apologize to Natasha, but then he never does. Thought that was kind of a weird decision. And then the other two in, like, Natasha's old family, as they call themselves, I didn't like them that much. I don't know. They weren't all that interesting. Not as good as I had hoped they would be. The MCU is great because of the characters, and I feel like this film doesn't do as much with that. Even Black Widow, her character isn't really improved by this movie much at all. I think her arc was completed perfectly with Endgame, and we just didn't really need this movie. At this point, we didn't really need it, and it doesn't matter all that much. I know some people will argue with me on that it still really does matter, but I don't know. Did we really need this movie? Whatever. It's awesome that we just have another MCU film, and I'm happy about that, whatever the movie is. Next thing to talk about is the action, which was also a little bit disappointing. I expected it to be some great action like Winter Soldier style. That's like the best action in the entire MCU, and it wasn't quite as good as that. It had some pretty creative action, especially at the end with all that stuff flying out of the sky. I mean, it had some creative action, but it wasn't filmed in the best way, and you couldn't really see it all that well, I guess. All in all, I would say Black Widow is a good movie. I'm not necessarily disappointed by it, but even compared to like the MCU shows that we've gotten recently, WandaVision and Loki, in my opinion, are quite a lot better than this. I'm happy we have it, but I can't quite say it's a great movie. It's not really important in the grand scheme of the MCU. It's not really important to Black Widow's character. But I think overall what this movie really means to me is not the movie itself. It's just symbolizing that we're getting back to having MCU films come out. And now we're getting Shang-Chi and the Eternals soon, which I'm not actually all that excited for those either. But I'm sure they'll be good, just like this movie was. I'm probably going to give Black Widow a 7 out of 10. Like I said plenty of times in this review, it's just nice we're having another MCU film. Even if it's maybe on the weaker end of MCU films we've gotten, we finally have another one. Alright everyone, so thanks for watching this really different review. Hope you liked it, and I hope you liked the movie as well. See you all next time.